Good morning, guys. Today is June 25th, and I'm doing this technical analysis. It is now midnight, 1 a.m., something around like that. But we're gonna make a quick analysis on Bitcoin. Now, let me remind you guys that I am still bearish, and since the bigger time frames, they are very significant, but time frame like monthly time frame, they often takes time to react to the new trends. And this month we are 25th, and then we only have 5 days left for the month of June, so that we're gonna get into July. Now we are trading in a very dangerous zone right now. We are under the 9. This is my 9 exponential moving average on a monthly time frame. Now, in this chart, you can see this happen just a few times, and we had this situation. So this candle will close in 5 days. But if this candle close under $36,000 Bitcoin, this monthly candle will close under the 9 EMA, the monthly. Now, this situation happened only a few times. We had it there. Let me pull this for you guys. We had it there on we had it there somewhere on the bear market on 2013. Here it happens here. So we did close and stay under it for like 60 days, and that was a bear market. Of course, after that we did go over it, and then later on we're gonna talk about the death cross. Now the death cross on Bitcoin is not really something I'm looking for. It's not really part of indication. I don't trade it personally, but it's important for most traders, and especially in stock market. But for me, this is very important. In any bull run, you never had this situation. Now, this situation, you need at least 60 days of trading. For an example, this situation right there, we did close under the 9. We then go over it, and then we close under the 9, and this was it here. Okay, so another situation here, we did close under the 9, and then we confirm the close. Then after that we have a major drop. Now we have situation in which we close under the 9. Okay, for an example, we close under the 9, we get back over it. So this can happen. We close under the 9, and then we're gonna have to wait until for August, for an example, and see what happened. But the thing is that once you have a candle that close under the 9 EM in a monthly time frame, you need another 30 days to see if this is gonna be a situation in which this is very bearish. Now let me go back so I can make sure you get it, guys. So this was the first one, but this is the most important one. I'm gonna make this clear. And then this was the most important one. And another situation here, but we had a major drop. This is not a typical bear, but this is something we're gonna have to monitor in the next 120 days. So we still have much time left. Now this 18 bars represent 18 months. That was my prediction in the beginning of the year of the bull. Okay, so at 11 bars, so 11 months around, we start, and I say this is a bear until proving otherwise, because you don't want to miss a bear market. That stuff move very fast. In less than 10 to 12 months, you're gonna have a coin or major coin that will drop from 60 to 80% down. So you don't want to miss a bear market. So for me, this is dangerous. This is extremely dangerous, because this kind of situation happened just a few times, and they often, for an example, happen before a bear. For an example, this situation followed by another one, or you have this situation in which you have one close and a confirmation, and then you have a serious drop somewhere here, and that was COVID-19 somewhere here. That was COVID. Now I have to say here is that on the MACD we start having some fading, and the bulls, they will probably need lots and lots of money to reverse this situation, because big time frames are like when you get overweight. It takes time to put on, and it also takes time to get rid of. Okay, so you guys gonna be very careful with that stuff. If we ever close under it, there is a very high probability that we stay under it for another 60 days, or we might get an unvalidate this situation. Now the interesting short here is that monthly time frame. Now I think I've told you that this downtrend on RSI is for me the most important thing in this market right now. So I think as long as we are under this downtrend line, my bear position is strong. For me, this is a bear. I'm not really gonna care about that. We've been on a negative side. The histogram has been red for a long time, but the most important thing is this. This is important. Don't get me wrong, but this is the most important stuff right there, because that was the major bull run that started before halving. This line right there is the halving on Bitcoin, and then we did go over it. That was it. Then after that we go down, we break this. That was a potential down uptrend line, but we literally break it down and we create that downtrend line, and for me that was my bear indication. So now we have like 5 weeks under the 21 EMA, and we have been the interesting support, this red exponential moving average is the 55. This one right there is the 55. And then in the last 5 weeks, the 55 EMA have been behaving as a very important support for Bitcoin right now. And if we close on that, this is very bad. Now, as you can see, we did react like 3 times and very close to it. And this line is literally around, let me show you. It's literally around $32,000, which is a major zone. Okay, now in the last 5 weeks, the bulls have been defending $30,000, and they have been defending it pretty well. But the thing is that over time, okay, the RSI did get back into a neutral zone. This means that this zone right there is getting loaded with supply. So the first time we reached there, okay, it was very oversold, but over time more people are turning into a bearish situation. More people are placing sell orders, so this oversold situation is finding enough supply. So this RSI right there is getting into a form of equilibrium, and that will reset it. And when this happens, makes it more difficult for Bitcoin to go back over this zone right there. Now the other interesting thing is that we've seen this bullish pressure, and this bullish pressure literally starts somewhere here when we reach $30,000. But the thing is that this bullish pressure rose over here, and then we fade until finally we are back to a bearish pressure. So this means what? This means that at that point, at that very moment, today, the Bitcoin is most likely to go down than to go up. The reason is simple. The MACD histogram is still red. That means the bearish pressure is actually higher than the bullish pressure. If Bitcoin was about to bounce, should have do it somewhere when we were in a green histogram, or even when we were fading. But as you can see right there, this MACD histogram, this red MACD histogram is very red, and it's brand new. So we are building selling pressure at that zone right there, that was supposed to be a support, and this support I've been testing for a very long time, which is literally 5 weeks, more than 1 month. So the other interesting thing about this is that we had this uptrend line right there, and this uptrend line was creating by this zone of consolidation, and we broke it 2 or 3 days ago. At that very moment we are retesting it, and this is why I think we had this 4-hour time frame pullback. Now, in my opinion, and this is why I don't like to go long on bear market, because even if you see a bull sign, or even if you have a bullish signal, sometimes those bullish signal, as much clear as they present themselves, they might not really express themselves in terms of price, so you don't really get a pump. It can be small, or literally you waste your time in a small bullish pressure, as you can see. So this MACD histogram is what holding. This is a typical bear rally. We had that rejection on 4-hour time frame, and as this MACD histogram on 4-hour time frame is literally holding the line for the bull trend right now. The problem is that in a 4-hour time frame, which is a pretty decent time frame, you have this zone. I'll try to show you. I have this presentation, I have this chart on VB. This zone right there between 55 and 99, this zone is building resistance. Okay, the wider you get, the bigger is that bear zone. And if we're gonna go ahead, and it starts there. Okay, here I did get into a long position. I actually lose a trade here because I expected the bull to maintain the momentum, but what happened is that we did uncross it, and then we get a second fin. So this zone right there is actually very bearish. What the bulls would need to get back and take the upper end, they would actually need to go all over here and pass this zone right there and stay over it. Now let me try to show you a little bit. Because of this presentation right there, so we get 55.99 cross. That was an indication to enter long. I did, and I got stopped out somewhere here after we retraced like 100%. Now we get that situation again, but here's the thing: when this happened, this swing right there, this zone right there, is what Bitcoin need to break in order to create a real bullish momentum. So these tiny pumps or bear rallies that can barely reach $40,000, they are just making it more difficult for Bitcoin to get back into a bull, to resume bull trend. So the more time we spend here, the less likely we are about to get a pump. So if we stay here too long, if we ever fail to stay over these 2 moving averages, what's gonna happen is that the bear gonna get back to it, push a sell-off, and then we're gonna have to go back a little bit lower to find support in order to go back and get a bounce. Now I did expect a bounce. It's been a while. The thing is that when you expect bounces in bear market especially, sometimes you see a small entry and you take it, and it's actually a small rallies. This is what you get here, and somewhere here, and those rallies, they can be very disappointing. So in my opinion, if it's a bear market, you just have to look for short entries, because you're gonna have more short entries than long entries. So overall, I think this is gonna stay here. I have this potential downtrend line. I really did expect that we will have go back in over this, but my guess now, and this is what I think, Since bulls are having difficulty to bounce, what can happen is that this line, this white line, now if you did follow my class, you know this line is straight from a weekly time frame. I think this line will be where we're gonna bounce. I think we're gonna bounce here, not 20k, you know, somewhere 27, 26, and then we probably gonna do something like that. Because these zones, for an example, this zone right there, these zones, they might be some supply zone, they might be some demand zones, but the reality is, because they are from a daily time frame, it's not that the daily time frame is not important, but since the bear trend is directly from the weekly time frame, I think, in my opinion, that the bounce that we've been waiting for must come from a structure or pattern directly from a weekly time frame, and this is a potential uptrend line that literally start with this RSI right there. So in my opinion, we're gonna touch that zone, okay? And that moment we touch that zone, and that zone is actually around, as you can see it, over $24,000. It is not $20,000. I don't think we're gonna drop straight to $20,000. I think we're gonna trot somewhere between 24 and $30, 30,000. So between 24k and 30k, this is probably where we're gonna get the first bounce. So what's gonna happen after that really gonna give you what's gonna happen after that will really be very important in order to say, are we gonna keep going up or are we gonna keep going down? Now this is extremely interesting, because if this is not a real uptrend line, this is a potential uptrend line. So when we make it there, the bounce, if we get it, will confirm an uptrend line from a weekly standpoint. So if we go over this and we bounce, there is a probability to have this movement. That is if we bounce strong, okay? Because we need to invalidate this movement here. But if we don't, what's gonna happen is that this stuff right there will become another obstacle for the bulls. So we're gonna drop under it and probably bounce again, okay? But since this one, this line right there is a monthly uptrend line, so this is stronger. This line right there is actually stronger than the white one, because the purple one is from a monthly time frame and the weekly one is from a weekly time frame. So if we bounce over it, we can go like this. Let me remove that. The possibilities are a lot. We have different ways. We can bounce like this, or we can bounce like this, and you know, make some massive triangle, that kind of stuff. Or we can stay here and drop something like that. Or if we fail it, because it's a potential down uptrend line, not a real one, the next test is 20k. So we have two zones, you know, this one between 24 and 30, and this one between over 30k. So I don't think we're gonna go straight down to $20,000. I think we're gonna test this. We don't know if we're gonna be successful. We don't know if the bull's gonna be successful about this, but this is, in my opinion, very important, since this line is straight from the beginning of the bull run after COVID-19 drop. And then we have a bounce here on RSI, and then we do have a bounce here, and then we're gonna have this movement right there. So I think we probably gonna move, we're gonna have a bounce from this line, and this line is between $24,000 and $30,000. So what's gonna happen here, we don't know yet, but I don't see Bitcoin fill these two lines one after the other without reaction. So because this is a bear market, those expectations are not reason to go long. Okay, and that's the problem here, because sometimes you expect a bounce, you go long, and then you lose money. The reason is the major trend is a bear. We only have to expect bounce at a certain zone so that we don't short them, but this is not a reason to enter a long position. Now I don't think we have much thing to do. The lowest we can go right now could be here, but that will require times and lots of selling. But we're not gonna talk about that. This is definitely not, we don't want that if we make it there, we can actually take advantage of it. I will take advantage of it, but my guess is that one of these trend line will react it, and let me show them to you in the chart. So this weekly uptrend line is purple. My monthly trend lines are purple, my major one. So this might look like a mess to you, but every single one of these color means something. So for me, they are not confusing at all. Now this line, I make sure it's very clear, because this line is one of the most powerful line in Bitcoin right now. This line started in August 2015. This line was created by the bottom of the bear market of 2018, and then this line was confirmed by the COVID-19 sell-off of March 2020. So since we have 2 touches, this uptrend line is actually the strongest uptrend line in Bitcoin right now. Now, because this uptrend line is extremely strong right now, the moment we make it to this trend line, we must have a reaction, because if we fail that reaction, this uptrend line will become a major resistance. So since this trend line have always reacted perfectly since 2015, I expect after 6 years that this trend line will always maintain its importance, and because of that, I think this is the bounce we are expecting. Now the question is this gonna be the bottom of the bear market, or if this gonna be a bull, a major bull triangle? Now we have 2 possibilities from that from that particular uptrend line. So this is very possible, okay, but this is not, because this is a big time frame, because this is the monthly time frame. I'm not gonna go ahead and say this is a bull market. All I know is that my accumulation plan of cryptocurrency will start when we make it there. I will start buying on spot here. So, but if we close under this, let's say in 1 month, somewhere like that, then the analysis will be very tricky, because we're gonna need another 60 days to confirm the break, and then maintain the break, and then retest, and this is gonna be a total different thing. This is probably gonna be a situation that we have never faced before in the crypto world, because this line is straight from 2015, but I'm pretty sure we can go all the way lower, all the way back, but I don't have enough data to talk about this. I only can say from summer 2015, something like that. But this line is the most important uptrend line in cryptocurrency, and this is probably gonna be the bottom or a bull comeback, so that really depends on how we react when we make it to there. But I do expect a reaction, and if we don't get it, this is gonna be sad, and this is gonna be real bad. So I guess that's it. I hope that this video will put your mind in perspective, and honestly, the reason why I'm bearish is not because I like it, it's because I'm used to the beast. Okay, so, and I know it's better to be wrong about a bull market than to be wrong about a bear, because every day you spend thinking about this, that stuff can literally drop 10% every day which is different, So have a good one, guys. Take care. Make sure I know it was a little bit long than usual, but I think that I did cover some major point. And that's it for Bitcoin Trends 30, guys. Remember to subscribe, like, and make sure you use the link to join the servers when you can have more other perspective on the community. Alright, guys, take care. Bye.